Hello and welcome back to Good Morning Lancaster. It is Friday of week 18 and we're back with more news and entertainment.
Today we'll be discussing the latest news headline and what's happening on campus this week.
And we will later be joined by Michael Mander, the news editor of Scan, who will be discussing what's going on in Scan News.
We'll also be joined by the winners from Battle of the Band 3 Minutes to Midnight, as we mentioned last week.
Stay tuned for more Good Morning Lancaster. Welcome back, I'm Ben Wallace.
And I'm Claudia Cohen. Thank you for joining us today.
Let's bring you up to date with the latest news and headlines. So, Lancaster University has been fortunate enough to be shortlisted for Best Accommodation in the What Uni Student Choice Awards.
Yes, the shortlist features the top 10 universities, which are rated by the students following interviews with over 27,000 students from 130 universities.
Yes, and Lancaster has maintained its standards for its award-winning accommodation for the last 2 years. The winnings are said to be announced on the 6th of April.
Head of Accommodation at the university, Candace Davis, has said that we strive to offer the best living environment for students. When they tell us we are getting it right, it's the best reward. So good luck to Lancaster for this reward.
And in more good news, that will affect students across the country. On Monday, the 6th of March, a vote was made for an amendment to be made for the Higher Education and Research Bill. Many student groups, such as the NUS, have been lobbying MPs to get rid of the link between teaching experience framework scores and fees.
The amendment passed in the House of Lords with 248 members voting for the amendment and 221 voting against. The consequence of this vote means that universities are no longer bound by their TEF scores to determine how much to charge incoming students.
And TEF scores rank from a bronze, silver and gold rating. Prior to the amendment, the system caused much conflict amongst universities and the unions, as they obviously wanted their university to strive for a gold rating, but did not want this to mean that they should charge a higher amount for fees. There were concerns that if the B were to not have been an amendment to this clause, it would have seriously discouraged potential students who come from lower income backgrounds, especially with regards to the abolition of student maintenance grants.
Also, this is not the first amendment to be made to the bill. Thanks to student groups voicing their opinion, an amendment was made to allow student representation, the Office for Students Board. It's reassuring to know that students can still make their voices heard, have a say and make changes in their education system.
And in other news this week, in honour of International Women's Day, which is celebrated on Wednesday, I saw a lot of Spotify. I don't know if you go on Spotify. On Wednesday, all the top songs were all famous women.
Yeah, it's always like this. You know the song Wannabe by like the Spice Girls?
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the cover of this,
Too familiar with Wannabe by Spice Girls.
Oh.
I haven't seen the cover.
The cover, it's like a woman talking about equality and everything, but I think it's not from this year. I think the video clip actually is from last year, I would say maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And every year, obviously, for like Women's Days, they like
Right.
put it again.
Oh,
like,
I see.
On the top list, yeah. You should listen to it and like the video clip and watch the video clip.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Well, there we go. If you get some time, watch the video clip. Oh, I saw her as well. The other day they put up, I don't know where it was though, a statue where they have a big bull. And some people who are listening might already know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember where it was. And they had a statue of a little girl, which they put next to it to represent like a fierce girl standing up against the bull in the system. And it was very representative, and they've kept it up for the whole of the week. It's just a statue of like a gold statue of a girl standing like this.
No, I understand, but I mean, in which place?
I don't know. I can't remember the place. But I'll try and find out before the end of the show, and then I'll share.
Okay, sure.
But it was on BuzzFeed. If any of you go on BuzzFeed, apart from just looking at which cracker you are. Anyway, the university decided to launch a Twitter campaign using the hashtag #WeAreLancaster Lancaster women.
Students and staff members were encouraged to use this hashtag, where accounts such as the Students' Union and the English and Creative Writing Department took the chance to sing the praises about their hard-working female members, where they showcased their talents and what they have brought to the department.
Yes, so in honour of this occasion, let's show you a VT on how Lancaster celebrated International Women's Day.
Celebration of all of the things that women have achieved throughout history.
A celebration of women's achievements because women have been erased from history for so many centuries.
The patriarchy is still everywhere and feminism still needs to exist, and we still have a lot of barriers to break down in that way.
It means a coming together of women all over the world. It's like a massive social movement just for us to all feel empowered and stand up for ourselves and stand up for our rights.
Really important to me that we have better political representation, and being someone from the Labour Party, we've never had a female leader yet.
And a lot of mainly men say to me a lot that, you know, we're equal now, it doesn't matter anymore, and it's just so wrong. Clearly we can see in every area of our lives that we still need to be fighting for women's rights.
So many amazing women in my life who really, really inspire me and kind of push me to be better and show me that I can do amazing things because they're doing amazing things as well.
My grandma really inspires me. She's one of the busiest people I know. She's supposed to be retired. It's not going well for her. International Men's Day does exist. So you can all stop asking that question now.
But it's International Women's Day, and we've got to think about women all around the world who are still facing many different issues all over.
I think it's important for students to be engaging in things like International Women's Day and other forms of activism across campus and across our community because of where we are in the world. And as students, we're still quite young, we're still learning what's going on, and I think we're in a really unique place to engage and make a difference in the world that we want to see. And so to me, International Women's Day kind of brings all of that together into something that matters on an international level as well as a local level. So it's really good to see students engage.
Also, this week on campus, the hustings for the full-time officer role at the Students' Union happened on Monday, where each candidate presented the manifesto and engaged in a lively discussion regarding the potential roles.
Yes, and we are now joined by the one and only Michael Mander, editor of Scan, who is there live blogging the event. Welcome, Michael.
Welcome.
So first thing we want to know is, tell us about the hosting event on Monday.
Yeah, it was a really good event actually. So we were there live blogging it. It was me, Alex Brock, the other news editor, and one of our writers, Bethany. It was an evening event in County. There was some tables set up. Everyone had drinks. There was food. It was a really good event. Live music as well.
So
Do a lot of people show up actually to the event?
Yeah, it was full. So it was a good turnout. More than other sort of JCR hustings or anything like that. It was a lot busier than I was expecting.
Now, were there any sort of particular sort of tension that were around during the hustings that you may have noticed?
There wasn't really any tension. They did something this year where they let the candidates ask each other questions. So it kind of broke out into a debate, which I thought was really nice. It was a really good idea. It came across really well as well. So you saw like which candidates were quite passionate about what they were talking about, and there wasn't really any tension, but it was entertaining somewhat.
What were you doing? You were just like reporting, or were you like live tweeting, or?
Yeah, so we were sort of following along with what they were saying, putting it up on the Scan website live for people to follow along. And then obviously it's still there for people to look back on now if they want to see what happened there.
And were there any candidates that interested you with their manifesto?
There was a lot this year about mental health campaigns, a lot this year about the NUS, whether we should leave or stay, a lot about the NSS boycott, but people were pretty standard about what they were saying. There was a few in particular that stood out to me. But
Can you share?
Maybe I won't name names. In terms of things I'm interested in, obviously student media. So, you know, it's issues that are important to me, sort of keeping Scan in print. So there's a few candidates that were quite strong on that.
Were there any particular candidates who perhaps, you know, seem very, very passionate in the sense that they may have got a round of applause, or any candidates which maybe completely bombed during the questions, or anything you can share? You don't have to name specific names.
Yeah, you can't name people like this.
I like to know circumstances.
No one was bad. No one performed badly. And I think some people have different points of view that are sometimes a bit controversial.
Yeah.
Some people have views that are more popular, but everyone's got their
Were people like actually confident, the candidate? Because it's not that easy to speak out like loud, you know?
Everyone was really confident. Everyone was really good on stage. I don't know if I could ever do it, stand up there in front of all those people and do a hust.
Yeah,
But everyone was really good.
Now, moving on to sort of other areas now, tell us a bit more about, of course, the spine developments which have been going on around campus. I think a lot of people may be interested in maybe, more information about what's going on with that.
Exactly, because we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Just it's here and we can't work, but that's all.
Yeah, so we ran a story a few weeks ago. One of our writers, James Gilmore, spoke to Pete Setter, the little pizza restaurant that used to be by Furness. And the proprietor said that he'd lost 70% of business.
Wow.
We talked about this last week in the show, that they didn't lose for like the coffee, but they lost for like the pizza, which was the main revenue.
Yeah, so he told us that he was losing a lot of money because of the spine developments. But just yesterday, actually, we went and met with the people who are running the spine development project. So we spoke to them for a little bit, and they said they haven't had any complaints about any loss of business.
Interesting.
And they said they talked about how hard they're trying to get students involved in the campaign around the spine and all the different things they're doing, like the hedgehog costume.
The hedgehog costume?
Out. You might have seen it on Twitter. It's, I have my opinion about it, but they've paid for a costume of a hedgehog and a hard hat to promote the Design the Spine project.
That's a certain kind of marketing, I have to say.
Yeah, it's definitely attention grabbing.
Definitely.
Whether it gets the right sort of attention or not.
Kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid, they used to have, in England, we had those advertisements of the two hedgehogs crossing the road.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that. I think maybe that's what they were going for in their marketing.
It's a bizarre idea.
Bizarre reference, right?
A hedgehog costume.
How do they actually get students to advertise for the spine? Like, who is, like, for the design of the spine now? Because...
Well, they've got like social media feeds and stuff like that. They have a stand at the farmers market. To be fair to them, they're doing a lot to sort of get students engaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the build-up, sort of, they did votes about what people wanted to see on the spine. I don't know how many students are actually interested.
More hedgehogs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a few more costume characters, and we'll all be.
Do you know
really
how long
involved.
they're going to go on for, the developments at all?
They said it's on schedule. I think it's set to finish around next January.
Right. Okay.
I won't be there anymore, me. But
yeah, no, a lot of people won't see it.
Oh, shame. Well, maybe we get to experience the beautiful hedgehogs that may be dotted around and things.
You're gonna enjoy it.
I'll enjoy it. Yeah. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, take picture for me. Then.
I'll take a picture. So also, if you guys are interested in actually looking at some of the hustings for some of the VTs, for some of the candidates who actually went up for the roles, it actually ends tonight, right? The voting, I believe so.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. 4 p.m.
I think so. Yeah.
4
Oh,
p.m.
Voting?
Get on
okay.
it. So if you guys want to look at some of the sort of campaign and manifestos, you can go over to either our website or our Facebook page, which you'll see a rundown of every candidate giving exactly what they want. And then if you go over to the LUSU website, you can actually vote for those candidates.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can just stand out in Alexander Square and wait for people
and shout their name, maybe.
Because it's going to happen for sure.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your answers. We'll be now joined by 3 Minutes to Midnight. Let's take a look at one of your performances at Battle of the Bands last week.
Right, we are now lucky enough to be joined by the winners of Battle of the Bands. God, that was quick. You could say it was pretty late, 3 minutes to midnight.
So welcome,
what a
guys.
reference. So, tell me a bit about you guys as a band before we go into anything else. How long have you guys been a band for?
Well, we only started playing together, what was it, last term, probably at the end?
End of last term, yeah.
So that's very
You
recent.
mean playing like in like a more...
As in like a band.
Yeah, were you actually playing before a bit like?
I mean, I've known you since last year.
Yeah. But I was a guitarist up until last term, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he Bagsy the role?
Well, it was sort of like, you play drums? There's not many drummers on campus.
Yeah, good
so
point.
It's like, if there's a drummer, you need to find them and just capture them as quickly as
So
you can.
tell us a little bit as well about the actual Battle of the Bands itself. How did the running of that go?
Well, I mean, we applied through like a form, which was sent out by Bailrig FM, and once you apply, they put you into the different heats. There was like 3 semi-finals, and then there was like the final, which was in Pendle.
How many acts were there?
7.
7?
Oh, okay,
Wow.
yeah. And so anyone could apply, actually? And
Yeah,
then they just
anyone,
like audition, okay.
Didn't have to be a band really either. I mean, there was one act. Alex Haslam, he's an acoustic guitarist on campus and really good.
Okay, yeah.
Worth checking out. But yeah, no, it was really good, and I was really pleased to see so many bands on campus, because campus just really needs, the live music scene just really needs like supporting and things like that.
So apart from doing Battle of the Bands, you guys perform many gigs on or off campus?
Well,
the Battle of the Bands Heat was our first gig.
No way.
Yeah, so
Seriously, what a breakthrough.
Yeah, that, I think that was the big concern. I mean, it's when you haven't gone through your set before, and it's a competition. It's
How did you feel about going into that then?
Were you stressed, actually? Like, how did you...
Yeah, we must have been nervous a little bit, right?
I mean, I think when we did like the semi-final, was that the first time we probably ran through the set?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, yeah.
But considering, I mean, watching the clip, you guys performed so confidently, you wouldn't be able to tell at all.
I mean, I think that's just because the semi-final went really well, and with a few minor mishaps, which we can discuss, which are quite funny. But I think because it went so well, I mean, your confidence went up so much after the semi-final.
Yours were already sure.
Not like that.
When you can play behind your head, it doesn't
Yeah, we saw the video.
Again, there's more to be explained, but like, I mean, it was just when we got to the final, I think we were really sort of like just like.
And I guess once you actually start playing, like all your fear just disappear. No, you're just into the music, and that's all. No?
Yeah.
Now, because I heard you say it before, tell us about these mishaps then. What went on there?
Yeah.
In the semi-final, our bassist who can't be here, Sam, his bass string snapped.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like
Bass strings are like this thick.
Yeah.
You know, and even on one of our like slower, quieter songs as well. So we finished it, and it's just done, and then I just looked over him, and he just looked at me. He was just like,
what did you do?
Well, I don't know. I think because he'd had them on so long,
it
just completely snapped. So we had to just jam. We ended up just going into an impromptu like
20-minute jam.
No, it wasn't 20 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. But we just jammed over it.
You improvised.
You had to improvise.
That's insane. And so, I mean, surely you guys must have been thinking at this point, you know, maybe we should just pack it in, go home, call it a night.
But like, I think
maybe it's more enjoyable actually. No, that like you're in this situation, you just have to play.
Yeah. I mean, the whole part of music is being spontaneous.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you do a gig, things go wrong. Like they do, because it's live, and if you can't cope with things going wrong, then you know that's a problem. Like when you're trying to do gigs, and even in the
the final, the bass pedal, because you got like a pedal and then like the stick on the pedal, and it just flew out.
Everything sounds like
so there was so there's like
the same song as well as
the
the
same
bass
song.
It's our bad luck.
You have to veto that song now.
Well, I don't know, because that's the one where I stuck the guitar by my head.
Oh, of course,
so, like,
we can't leave that out. As long as the guitar stays.
You can see me on the video, I'm like looking down, and I'm like, trying to get Jonathan.
It's broken, you know.
So how many songs did you actually perform? Only one for the final, or you had to play a few?
No, it's a full set, 30 minutes worth of music, and I think is it 7 songs?
I think we got 7 songs. Yeah.
What music do you guys perform?
Like a mixture of blues, rock, like some of our own stuff as well.
Even like, I mean, soulish.
Yeah, to be honest, soul.
Oh, so what inspires you guys as musicians then, if you're writing your own stuff?
Well,
I mean,
Jonathan.
I mean, like I love Jimi Hendrix and like that classic sort of 60s, 70s rock sort of thing. Always have done. But I mean, sort of like that. But I'm a huge Muse fan as well.
Right.
So I really like their performance side of stuff, because I think they're one of the best bands on the planet for like putting on shows.
Yeah.
So I think from that sort of way, I mean, Hendrix definitely for performing as well. I mean, he played with his teeth and stuck the guitar behind his head and set his guitar on fire. You know, which I did.
Is that what's up next for you
working
guys?
up towards that.
When you get to 1 minute to midnight, maybe.
Yeah, I'll burn the whole place down. Yeah.
So as well, I mean, I know you guys have been basically trampolined into the performing world now, it seems, but I think you guys are qualified enough to give any advice to any people who might be interested in starting a band.
I don't know about that.
From your experiences.
Find people who love music, and just even if you don't like like even if it's not that great at first, because I mean, at first it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay, but it's gotten better.
I mean, definitely. I mean, like David on the drums has improved by an amazing amount. In fact, if you were to compare like when we started practicing first and to where we are now, it's actually like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I read an article the other day which was like the Arctic Monkeys gave it a year, and from when they started picking up instruments to when they released their first EP.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing is if you enjoy what you're doing and you really want to do it, just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
And find
surround
people.
yourself in people.
But
who love
it must
music.
be really difficult to actually get this cohesion, you know, with your style of playing, yours as well, and
It's
the
luck.
other.
Really, like I think that's the hardest thing about music is that it really is luck about finding the right place at the right time, and the right people. Like it literally is not so much as like what. It's not what you know. It's like who you know.
Yeah, but of course that luck also comes from hard work, I assume too.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. You have to like put a lot of effort in and practice time. You know.
And how was the people? They were actually dancing when you were playing, or
I think people were having a good time.
You think?
They didn't run out, so you're like, oh my word, who are these people? You know, but I think people really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys then? Is there anything that we can know for
Glastonbury,
future?
no.
Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds.
You know, maybe one day, but well, we've got the
charity gig at the
charity gig
end of
coming
month.
up at the end of the month, for
Charity
Define
gig.
Dementia.
Right, yeah, on campus, aren't they?
It's in town. This one, it's in.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, I've just found out literally very recently. It's in the. I think it's in the John of Gaunt in town.
Okay.
Do you know when and where?
It is the second of weekend before term, so the weekend of week 9.
You right?
So
Yeah.
next weekend. I think
about
it's
the
like
7th.
throughout the day on the Saturday.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
We'll put more info as well on that in the video.
Yeah,
that'd be really good.
definitely.
Right. Thanks a lot, guys. That's brilliant. Cheers.
That's great. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So we'll now show you what's happening in and around campus for the upcoming week.
The full-time officer results will be revealed tonight at 9 o'clock. It will be at the Sugar House, but if you can't make it, LA1 TV will be covering the event, so don't miss out.
Yes, and the hiking club will be arranging another trip, where this time it will be in Thirlmere, on Sunday, where there'll be a chance to explore the reservoir, plus you'll be able to visit Helvellyn, Castle Crag, Great Howe and High Rig, and many other names I'm going to butcher, so don't forget if you'd like to go.
And finally, there will be a chance to attend the annual Low Ball on Wednesday at Lancaster House Hotel, which is open to all students. There will be a 3-course meal, a glass of Prosecco on arrival, plus a live band on offer. After the event, there will be a couch which will take you to Sphere Bar in the city center, where there will be a DJ performing for you. So if you would like to attend, please check the Luzu website for more details.
And now, sadly, that's all we have time for this week, and I guess all we have to say, guys, is bye. See you later, guys.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
See you
Have a
next
good
week.
day.
Thank you.